Speaker, with permission, I will group this with question 10. The government is rebuilding neighbourhood policing after it was decimated under the previous government. And this year we are putting 3,000 more neighbourhood police and PCSOs back on the beat, backed by £200 million additional funding and detailed plans drawn up by police forces for increased patrols in town centres this summer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Special constables play a vital role in visible community policing, but the number of specials dropped between 23 and 24 by over 700, losing 1 in 4 in the same period in my constituency of Chichester, which is represented by Sussex Police. So will the Home Secretary consider practical incentives such as council tax relief or free local travel, like those in the Met Police currently have, to support recruitment and retention of those specials?
Can I welcome the honourable member's point about specials? They play an extremely important role, and in fact the drop in the number of specials across the country in previous years before the one she refers to was actually even more steep. I'm pleased that Sussex Police are getting not just 43 additional neighbourhood police officers but also a further 21 specials into neighbourhood teams this year, and we will continue to look at what more we can do to increase support for specials and get more on the beat.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week I joined Blackpool Police and our Police and Crime Commissioner Clive Gunshaw under the iconic Blackpool Tower to launch the Safer Streets Summer Initiative in Blackpool. This has now also coincided with delivering the guarantee that every community now in Blackpool will have a named police officer and PCSO, which has been welcomed, I know, from across the community. So can the Home Secretary confirm that my constituents will soon see more visible policing, regular foot patrols in our town centre, and crucially start to feel safer and more confident on the streets of Blackpool?
My honourable friend is right, and he and I, in fact, talked to shop owners shop managers in his constituency about the importance of tackling town centre crime. It's why Lancashire Police are getting an additional 83 police officers and PCSOs into neighbourhood teams this year. I strongly welcome the work that they are doing as part of the government's Summer Safer Streets initiative to tackle that shop theft and that street assaults that can make so much difference if we tackle those to keep people safe.
Dame Karen Bradley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And can I associate myself and my committee with your words earlier regarding the 20th anniversary today? One of the effective tools in community policing and neighbourhood policing is live facial recognition technology. We know that's being used effectively by the Metropolitan Police, but other police forces are nervous because of the statutory underpinning that they don't believe is there. Can the Home Secretary give some reassurance as to what the government will do to make sure this can be used effectively?
Well, the committee chair is right that live facial recognition can play a really important role in keeping communities safe. My honourable friend, the policing minister, as a result, has been meeting with not just police forces but other organisations on how we need to ensure we can draw up that new framework to give all police forces the confidence to use facial recognition in the best way to keep communities safe.
Weston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We need good community policing, but we need good senior leadership teams in our forces. A recent review done on Warwickshire Police showed that leadership and the force management needs improvement, and its response times to public were inadequate. Could I ask the Home Secretary to look into Warwickshire Police?
Well, my honourable friend makes an important point. We do want to see standards raised across policing and across all police forces. It's why the Police Reform White Paper will set out new measures to improve performance management across all police forces. And Warwickshire is getting an additional 22 police officers and PCSOs and specials onto the streets.
Minister McVickers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I join you in marking the anniversary of the 7/7 London bombings? Our thoughts are with the victims and families and all those who did all they could to help those in need. Yesterday, Met Police Chief Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley called the spending review disappointing, highlighting how he is being forced to cut 1,700 officers and staff. Policing may not be a priority for this Labour government, but the last government put a record number of police on our streets. Will the Home Secretary commit to keeping total police officer numbers above 147,746 as it was under the last government? Yes or no?
Well, unfortunately, the trouble is with the party opposite that actually they didn't put police on the streets. They may have tried to reverse the massive cuts that they made to policing after 2010, but they didn't put them on the streets. And so neighbourhood policing was slashed under the Conservatives, and some areas saw neighbourhood policing halve as a result. I am glad to say that the Metropolitan Police this year will put 470 additional neighbourhood police on the streets as a result of the support they've been given.
That was a failure to commit to that total number, I think, there. During the Crime and Policing Bill, we asked the government to stop our police having to investigate playground squabbles and hurty words online as non-crime hate incidents. But now senior police officers are joining the call. Merseyside Chief Constable Serena Kennedy has said non-crime hate incidents are having a disproportionate impact on trust and confidence in policing. Realising that U-turns are quite fashionable on that side of the House, will the Home Secretary now finally scrap non-crime hate incidents and save 60,000 hours of police time?
Yeah.
Well, I should point out to him that police forces are following the guidance that the Shadow Home Secretary drew up on this issue. We have a review being done under the College of Policing at the moment, but he refers to the Crime and Policing Bill that is introducing new measures on stalking, on spiking, on respect orders, on e-bikes, on off-road bikes, on a whole series of different things that, sadly, the Conservatives voted against. So much for caring about tackling crime.
Lisa Smart, Liberal Democrat spokesperson.
Mr. Speaker, the best community policing is embedded within communities, responding to the needs of those communities. Whether it's a tax on Jewish-owned businesses or hateful chants at music festivals, there are too many sobering reminders of the reality of the anti-Semitism that too many within the Jewish community are facing across the UK right now. Home Office figures have showed that religious hate crimes are at record highs and that hate crimes specifically targeting Jewish people have more than doubled. Everyone deserves to feel safe in our society, and that must include British Jewish communities. So, Mr. Speaker, what steps is the Home Secretary taking to ensure that police have the training and the resources needed to effectively tackle anti-Semitic hate crimes while supporting survivors?
Well, the honourable member is right to highlight the appalling increase in anti-Semitism, in anti-Semitic hate crimes and assaults that we saw that took place after the events in the Middle East. And she will know too that we work very closely with the Community Security Trust and the police work very closely with them in order to tackle anti-Semitism, and we're also introducing new measures to deal with intimidating protests outside synagogues.
Number 3, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
I know my honourable friend speaks with a great deal of experience in health matters, and discussions between ministerial colleagues about how we can best join up public services happen regularly. We know that joined-up working results in better outcomes at local level. Collaboration and engagement between neighbourhood policing and neighbourhood health teams already exists to tackle mental health, drug and alcohol addiction, and I hope that this government's investment in neighbourhood policing will enable more of this work to continue.
Rachel Maskell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the Minister for her answer. Evidence shows that integrating policing and health is vital in delivering better outcomes in areas like mental health, substance misuse and youth violence, areas we need to address in my city of York. So with both police and health realigning into neighbourhood teams, will she ensure that there is reach across the services with a named lead police officer to develop prevention and early intervention strategies, diverting those at risk through harm reduction approaches, including treatment and support? With the recently launched 10-year health plan, it's moving away from those siloed services and towards a more joined-up approach, including the preventative model of care, something that aligns very much with policing and keeping people safe and supporting well-being. And I welcome the opportunity to contribute to the National Neighbourhood Health Implementation Programme and ensure that policing is part of that conversation from the outset. And by working more closely with health and care partners, we can
can reduce inappropriate demand on policing. Officers should not be left to pick up the pieces when other support services are better placed to help. And this is about getting it right first time, and that tailored support first time.
Rishi Sunak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I thank the Policing Minister for visiting Northallerton this year and hearing directly from my farming constituents about the impact on their lives and health from livestock and equipment crime. Now, I'm grateful to North Yorkshire Police for all their hard work and indeed the recent funding uplift for the National Rural Crime Unit, but does she agree with me about the importance of implementing the Equipment Theft Prevention Act and more broadly ensure that rural areas get the attention that they deserve?
Well, can I thank the Right Honourable Gentleman for that question? And it was a pleasure to meet his constituents. I think it was way back in February. It was a very cold day in North Yorkshire. And I fully recognise what the Right Honourable Gentleman says about the mental health and well-being of some of the challenges facing rural communities in terms of crime. And that's why the neighbourhood policing guarantee is so important for areas like the one that the Right Honourable Gentleman represents. And of course, as I've said a number of times in this House, we support the implementation of the Equipment Theft Act, and we plan to bring forward regulations shortly.